Now, say my name.
The Rolling Bad Podcast.
You're goddamn right.
Welcome to the Rolling Bad Podcast, episode number 66, coming to you from the, what?
66 is fine. It's just a weird number.
Oh, okay. Well, we're still coming to you from the desolate wastelands of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We're recording on Tuesday, March 16th. It's April 16th.
I knew that.
Wow. We're off to such a strong start.
We are.
Yeah. April 16th, and I am your host, Elric. And with me tonight is him.
Yeah, Bill Costello. Evening, folks.
How's it going, buddy?
Not bad. How are you?
Oh, living the dream.
We are fresh from a incredibly successful weekend.
Yeah. Narrative Con, SRBHNC event, E.
The Alphabet
plus,
event.
Q plus.
Yes.
All right.
So I guess tonight we're going to talk a lot about battles and hilarity and battles and more hilarity and some drunkenness and
try to find a way to talk about Randy Con without actually talking about Randy at all, if that's possible.
This is a goal we have.
Yeah. See what we can do.
And we're also going to cover, some new stuff and talk a little bit about some events that are coming up. And then in the lore section, we're going to talk a little bit about competitive versus narrative, but in a different way. But first off, we'd like to call some attention to a couple of, three events that are coming up.
Yeah, let's get the hype train going.
Yeah, for these. The first one is the Summer Slaughter, and that's going to be out at Gamers Haven in Phoenixville, and that's in Pennsylvania. So if you're around the Pennsylvania area or it's close, you're looking at Saturday, July 27th and Sunday, July 28th, Phoenixville, Pennsylvania at the Gamers Haven. I believe it's a game store. So it's a Age of Sigmar tournament for 32 players, 2-day event, ITC ranked, and the TO says it's usually a pretty fun time, and hopefully within the next week or two, or 2 week or show or two, we'll get the TO on to tell us all about the area and Pennsylvania and what they got planned. So, but again, if you're in that Pennsylvania area, something to look for.
If we're unable to do that, are you going to be able to put a link to the event?
I certainly will put up links to all these events
Excellent.
in the show notes.
Excellent. All righty. The next one, Bug Eater GT. It's 3 days of tabletop gaming in Omaha, Nebraska.
You betcha.
At the Millard West High School. So it's a $58 entry fee for the Age of Sigmar event. It looks like it's going to be 5 2.5-hour games using 2,000 points. Pretty standard. 3 rounds on Saturday, 2 rounds on Sunday. It'll be a painting minimum. And awards for Best Overall, Best General, 1 for each Grand Alliance, Best Sports, and Best Appearance.
And again, I'm going to reach out to the TO and try to get him to come on and talk about it.
Right. And last but not least, the
dun, dun.
Flying Monkey Con in Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
Which is June 21st through the 23rd. So this is one that I'm going to attempt to make.
Oh, nice.
If I can. Me and one of the guys from up in Coloradoville are going to try to make that one.
Oh, very nice.
So,
very nice.
And we had them on last year.
Yes.
The TOs for
sure.
Not only the Age of Sigmar event, but the it's a convention, an overall convention as well. So they do other things. Maybe we can try and get them back on. Also.
I'm certainly hoping so.
Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to throw out there, the Bug Eater GT out there in Omaha is June 1st and 2nd. So I didn't put the dates on the sheet. My bad.
That's pertinent information. Excellent. All righty.
So yeah, 3 big events coming up in
the Midwest areas.
Yeah. And then the East for Pennsylvania. So yeah, you can't beat that. And again, if you have an event and you want us to talk about it, Like I said, we'll probably start hawking it as early as we can.
Yeah.
And then we'll work it out with you to get and come on the show and tell us about what you got planned. Because that's the way to build the hype, is have the actual TO on the show.
Free advertisements.
You betcha. So I think that's pretty much it. So we can move on to all the cool new stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing really much.
No. Oh, wow. I almost punned.
Oh, no.
I'm a little tired.
Just a little short note on it.
Yeah. That's one.
Okay.
Yeah, Fire Slayers dropped. The book, the Endless Prayers.
Magmic Invocations.
Yeah, the Magmic Invocations, and the Forge, which is a sweet looking.
Oh, man, isn't that thing beautiful?
Kit. Yeah, I really like it. We, as of this recording, the pre-orders are up.
Yep.
But we haven't had access to the book.
Right.
But there's some YouTube channels that have dug through it. So we watched a bit of that up at Randy Fest, and looks good.
It really does.
Looks good.
It looks like it's going to put them right into the competitive.
Yeah.
I don't think anything's really over the top.
No, nothing really struck me as crazy, but then again, I didn't really sit there.
I mean, until we have it in our hands.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to just sit there and listen to somebody read.
It's kind of funny. Some of the changes that came out were some of the things that we talked about ages ago about if it's going to be such a expensive army, let's make it 2 wounds. Let's make the guys 2 wounds.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
Well, they're still pretty affordable points-wise. It's the wallet.
It's the wallet, yeah.
With Fire Slayers.
Yeah.
But by making Magmadross units and a little more viable and stuff, it means that Start Collecting box just got that much better.
Skyrocketed in value.
So that's awesome. I'm pretty hyped about that.
And one thing I noticed today was the Doomseeker was out of stock online. You can't get the Doomseeker anymore. So evidently he got good.
Yeah. Or he's getting repackaged. Was he ever available by himself? Because I thought the only way you could get him was in that 4-pack for Warhammer Quest.
No, the one I saw on the website today just showed him by himself. Let me, we'll keep going, but I'll look it up real quick.
All right.
But yeah, it's
so, when we were sitting there watching the video on it and everything, I couldn't help but feel excited, but also really nervous about the Fire Slayers release because, Fire Slayers were like the first real book.
Yeah.
I mean, Seraphon dropped before that, and then, the Bloodbound and Stormcast, but I felt like Fire Slayers was the first real book. It was its own.
It's the first AOS.
Yeah. I mean,
book.
Stormcast, blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
whatever.
And
at the time, they didn't really know where they wanted to go with Age of Sigmar, not only like rules-wise, in structure, mechanically, but also with the narrative and the background and everything. So, and we touched on that with our Dwarden discussion. So I'm really excited to see, where the narrative is with this book. But the thing that makes me nervous is from an Ironjawz point of view. I'm excited because I'm pretty sure that Ironjawz are going to get some love fairly soon. Right. They're just such a popular army. Everybody and their mother has an Ironjawz army.
I know.
But Fire Slayers didn't get anything.
No new.
Yeah, no
other
new
than
units.
The new spells
they got the endless spells and terrain, which everybody gets. Yeah. So I don't really count that anymore.
Right. I hear you.
They didn't get a new unit or character or anything. And for Fire Slayers, they're a pretty skimpy army, but I think they can get by. But I think Ironjawz need more.
Well, what if they do the chaos treatment on them? What if they roll, the greenskins and
greenskins are gone. They have been canned officially. They're no longer available on the website or any of that stuff.
So that box I have is useless.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry. But yeah, I kind of thought about that too, like Bone Splitters and Ironjawz together.
Yeah.
And I would be hyped about that if it wasn't for the Gloomspite book. Because there's no synergy in that book. It's essentially 4 separate armies.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Whereas Skaven It's like
it's
a whole bunch of different Skaven clans that just so happen to work together really well.
Really well.
So if you put Bone Splitters and Ironjaws in a book together, yeah, that has potential to be really great if they
can work
actively
together.
Pursue that, So we'll see. But
yeah, I think you're right. I think they definitely need like a model release, a battle line unit that isn't.
And maybe another character. And Bone Splitters are in the same boat. That's 2 boxes is that army.
Yeah.
I mean, Ironjaws are only 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, combine them makes sense to a degree, but, how many Ironjaws players are going to be like, really? I have to buy a ton of Bone Splitters if I want a little extra variety? Or Bone Splitters players are going to be like, I painted 200 orcs and now I got to, I don't know.
Now I got to add Ardboys and brutes.
It's cool. It would be cool and to give them some extra flavor potentially and whatnot. But I gotta say, like, I think I'd rather just see something new.
Yeah.
Some new units or characters or whatever, or both. Honestly, give us both. And and the endless spells and terrain if that's the route we're going to go with everybody. But,
I wonder where they're headed with it. The fact that it's been taking this long might bode well for the fact that they're working on actual plastic for it, real hardware rather than just here's a rewritten book.
Well, to be fair, they've been dropping new Ironjaws models.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 new Stormcast heroes have Ironjaws heads conveniently decapitated underneath them.
There you go.
Sweet.
Yay.
Stormcast are great. Stormcast are cool, or whatever you conveniently put at the end of every frickin' show.
Oh, so you do listen.
Yeah, every once in a while I catch that.
I do love it.
So, and then another one of the armies that we kind of bring up a lot is Seraphon.
Yeah.
Because you're a Seraphon player and a bunch of the
Randy and Kyle.
The Colorado guys are pretty ardent Seraphon fans, and it's a discussion we've been having about them because some of those models are pretty dated.
Oh, yeah.
The Skinks, the Saurus.
Well, look how many of the heroes are fine cast.
Yeah, Razordons and Salamanders, all that stuff. And at first our discussions were like, well, some of that stuff is starting to show its age, so maybe phase that out, but leave some of the other stuff and just do some minor updates. And then obviously, kind of update the book.
Yeah.
I mean, Seraphon have gotten some boosts here and there, and obviously they're a solid army, but they're still, they were the first book.
Yep.
First real book or whatever you want to call it. And so I think they're definitely due. But my point to everybody was, I think you just can the whole line and start from scratch with Seraphon. Don't get rid of Seraphon.
No.
Redo them and give that entire line the Age of Sigmar treatment.
An update, yeah.
Think of Dark Eldar.
Yeah.
The old 3rd edition Dark Eldar to the 5th or 6th edition? 5th edition Dark Eldar update. And they got rid of that entire line. Nothing carried over. And it still is one of the best looking lines, in my opinion, out there.
That one has stood the test of time really, really well.
Yeah.
It's almost like they were starting to see the ideas and realize the arts of their creations over time.
Yeah.
With that Drakari or the Dark Elves, Dark Eldar, that they were really reaching the pinnacle of what could be done at the time with sculpting and injection molding and stuff. And wow.
I mean, just think about a demon dinosaur Age of Sigmar army, what they could do with that idea, what those
with
model
what they're
designers.
doing now.
Exactly.
It's crazy where they could go. I'd love to see that myself, and it would be worth the wait. And, like I said a few shows ago, Seraphon have gone, with the new rules, they've gone from literally unplayable to a pretty decent army.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just won a big event, so.
Well, and then we saw them in action. I played Randy over the weekend and he was playing his Seraphon, and we'll talk about that game. It was rough.
Yeah.
So, then we'll move on to.
There's so much stuff. For Adeptus Titanicus, they're coming out with the Doom of Molech book.
Okay.
Which is, another source book, just adding more and more to the lore. And, I think the best place to point people would be they did on the Twitch stream, they did an hour-long show with the guy who did the book. So if you really want to dig deep into that, go to that show because it's good.
From what I've seen, it looks like Adeptus Titanicus is not maybe as popular as they had hoped. I don't know. But it seems like the people who do talk about it really, really enjoy it.
Oh, yeah.
So I've noticed that on Twitter, that the people that sit down and start painting that stuff up and playing it are just over the moon. Yeah. So that's
and whenever you start playing it, it becomes... I think one of the things that puts people off is it's a complex looking rule set.
Yeah.
But once you play it, it really isn't.
Yeah.
It really, once you go through a turn or two, if you're used to GW games, it just goes click, 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 click.
Awesome.
And, yeah.
For me, I think the biggest hurdle to entry would be the fact it's a different scale.
Yeah.
It's like your terrain doesn't translate and
nothing.
Stuff like that. So I can see why there would be hesitation.
But up for pre-order this week, there's a whole bunch of new terrain sets.
Yeah.
All the correct Adeptus Titanicus scale. And so I think they're still pushing it. I think there's still hope.
Yeah, definitely.
It's got to be selling well to be having new books.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, and I definitely hope it's successful. I'd like to play it. I just haven't cleared a day on the schedule.
Yeah, and I have to get my stuff. Now that the con is over, I can relax a little bit. I still got the Escalation League to paint for, but I'm going to start looking at some of those other models.
Yeah, so, branch out and scratch some other itches.
You betcha.
All right, and then another fun side game you got here, the Middle-earth strategy battle game, Battle Companies Part 2.
Yeah.
So what's this?
So the Battle Companies book that came out for the original game has been updated for the new version of the rules. And, Battle Companies is their version of kind of like, I'd say, skirmish for Middle-earth. You can set up very small bands and get a feel for the play of the game without having to do, I have to paint another 100 orcs.
Yeah, really.
Which is not true. I mean, it's not that bad in the real game. But, I mean, still, painting 20 orcs can be daunting for some folks.
Sure.
Painting 4 is probably well within reach. So,
yeah.
And really, in the last version, Battle Companies really was a great little gateway drug to the game.
Well, that's what this whole skirmish thing is all about. Kill Team and Warcry coming out and all that stuff. Yeah. It's
the pusher man hitting you.
Exactly.
Hey, kid, you want some free models? Come here. Come here.
Yeah. I know you see that $165 box, and that's pretty intimidating, but here's a $35 box.
Yeah. And
you can play today and decide whether or not you like it, and then work your way up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and mom and dad can swallow that,
Yep.
That a lot easier than, you want $160 worth of junk. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever. So.
All right. Then the massive new community survey doing the rounds. I still have to do this thing.
You haven't done it?
No, and you'd think I would have been all over it day one because there's a chance to win an entire new Sisters of Battle army.
Yep.
So I will definitely be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But you have done it, right?
Yeah.
And aren't the questions kind of geared around ideas for a GW event?
Yeah.
Seems like. Yeah.
There's a lot about events and how events are run and what kind of events you like to see.
Right.
And then they go into the community. What do you want to see article-wise? When you want to see video-wise?
Oh, interesting.
And they have really interesting, the way they phrase the questions it's kind of interesting. And of course, like anything else, almost every question you can put a comment in there about, why? Why do you think that? So...
Well, damn, I wish I had done it then. That'd be a great little topic to talk about. Let's put a feather in that cap and we'll talk about it next show.
Yeah.
And I'll take care of it and we'll
go over it.
What the questions are and kind of what our answers might have been.
Yep.
So after that, we got, so this was really cool. I thought they showed all the Underworlds stuff that's coming out instead of teasing, here's 2 factions and then 3 months later, here's 2 more.
Right.
They dropped everything.
Well, the the two new sets are what the heck was it? Yathari's Guardians, and that's Sylvaneth, and Thundrix Profiteers are for KO, and then they're now dropping separately. Every warband ever is now in its own separate box, so that you can add those to your other armies without having to buy the Underworld stuff to go with it. So that's what all the other pictures were.
So you can just buy the models.
Yeah, just the models. If you want to run the Thorns of the Briar Queen with your death, you don't have to go buy the
cards
Underworld set. You can buy just the box with those models.
Okay.
And so, and it works the same all the way back to the original Stormcast versus Orcs.
Khorne.
So, yeah. Well, I guess the original was Khorne.
Yeah.
Then Orcs came out. My bad. But yeah, so the two new sets are the Sylvaneth and the KO. So those are...
Which look fantastic.
Oh,
both of those sets look phenomenal.
And of course, they give hope to both factions, really, because KO needs those models, and so does Sylvaneth, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's almost sad to see Sylvaneth
you almost forget how
down
dated that
right
book
now.
is, too.
Yeah.
And they had a brief moment there when 2.0 dropped, where it looked like they could have
come out of the woodwork.
Could have been a contender.
Yeah.
And, they kind of slipped back down.
Yeah, kind of.
So, and I know I've crapped on Sylvaneth before in the past. And,
no. Wait.
Yeah. But, it's been a long time since we've really seen that army be a thing.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate because as much as I've been frustrated with them rules-wise, model-wise, that is one of the best looking armies in the game.
If they would just fix the woods thing to where the army and its players weren't the most annoying people in the room, then, seriously, do we? I know you want to sell the woods, but do we really need 12 stands of woods on the game table? Yeah. Because you're just basically telling a lot of armies out there you can't play.
Yeah.
So get rid of it.
Maybe make them more like a feculent gnarl maw.
Yeah. Give them one woods.
And it has a radius that it does stuff. That would, maybe. Who knows?
Or something. I don't, maybe give them 3, but they have to be, 18 inches apart. I don't know. Figure something out. You're better at this than I am.
Some kind of a mix of gnarl maw meets Gnawholes.
Yeah. Something.
That might be interesting. Yeah.
Yep. Still give them their movement shenanigans, but don't make everyone in the world angry at them. So.
I'm up for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last little bit here, Age of Sigmar Champions, the card game, is getting ported over to the Switch, the Nintendo Switch.
And it released first thing this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yep, I downloaded it right when I woke up. I got up about, 5:30, and it was there, and I said, download, and it's free.
Oh, cool.
So, it makes sense that the game would be free since you basically need to buy the card sets to make it work.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy the electronic cards, but if you're going to be playing the game, I guess, you're going to hit both people. Some people just want to play it digitally. Some people want to be able to take their cards from their massive collections.
Right.
So, yeah, but I was real jazzed about that it hit the Switch.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder why it's only the Switch and not on Xbox Live and PS4 as well.
I don't know. I know it's on Steam. So you can do it on PC and Mac, but why the big consoles? I don't know. It can't be that difficult, but...
Maybe it's just trying to get those companies to work with you. But Microsoft tends to be pretty open. It's kind of Sony that's a D-hole about things.
And I wonder how it works with their rules about, what external apparatuses can be used.
Yeah.
Because I know Microsoft doesn't allow you to plug in your own kind of camera to the system. It has to be that Microsoft Kinect thing.
Oh, yeah.
So, I have no idea. I don't know that well
Or
enough.
maybe it is in the works.
Yeah,
and they just didn't.
They just haven't ported it out yet.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
There is actually 2 other games, and I want to do some research on them before I really dig into them, but Chaos Bane is this set in the old world, and it looks like an old school-ish RPG isometric type. I don't know if it's like a Diablo style hack and slash, or if it's more like a traditional Baldur's Gate-ish type RPG, but definitely want to do some more research on that.
Yep.
And then there is Warhammer Chaos and Conquest.
Oh, yeah.
And I've talked about this briefly before, and this is a mobile game. And it looks kind of like the standard empire building type of game. Yeah. And they've put out a thing asking for people in the community to talk to them and whatnot. So we might try and reach out to them and see if we can't get a little more info on that. Because we want to try to promote. It's awesome to see Games Workshop branching out with their IP to do video games and stuff like that. Yeah. So if we can help get the word out and whatnot, that would be nice.
Yeah.
So
we need a good fantasy type game to make it big.
Right.
And
it feels like they're hitting their stride with the 40K stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's still the occasional game that doesn't quite seem to hit, but there's some good ones. And really the only fantasy one it seems like we've had that's been a success is the Total War series. Yeah. So...
And that's old world. We need something similar.
Yeah, and both of these games, Chaos Bane and Chaos and Conquest, are both set in the old world as well. So,
and, they talk about that on the licensing show because it always comes up. When's there going to be a Sigmar game? And, development cycles, if they started the day AOS dropped, they're just about ready to release now. So
maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Depending on the size of the title.
That's true.
I mean, some of those AAA titles take 5 to 8 years with a 100-player team working on them.
Yeah, I mean, look at Fallout 76. That took all of 45 minutes to figure out. I mean, I'm sorry. Was that too soon?
Or, I can't imagine how many people were behind Anthem.
Oh, my gosh.
A game that won't even work. Anyways. Let's not go down.
Yes,
that
we're not a video game podcast much, but we could be.
We could be. So that about covers everything that's been rolling out. Hyped. I mean, there's some books.
There's 40K stuff, but we kind of want to decenter.
I don't really think there was the Chaos Lord,
the Masters of Ruin set.
So,
and that amazing Dark Apostle came out.
Yeah, that's some fantastic characters.
Wow. And it's my Night Lords are going to be
right.
I still kick myself in the face for selling that army.
Yeah.
And then, to make up for it, I bought another Chaos army that was, half baked and not in good shape. But
that sucks.
Yeah. But actually I'm almost glad now because with the new Venom Crawlers, the Shadow Spear box set, everything that's in there is just so much better than it used to be. I look at my old Mauler Fiends and I'm like, you can stay in the box. I don't need you. You're good.
Yeah.
But you don't scratch my itch no more.
Wow. Wow.
When you look at that, I mean, the Venom Crawler and then the Lord Discordant. Oh my God.
Yeah, easily one of my favorite models.
It's just, I can understand the people that don't like it because they say it's just too busy. It's too much.
Oh, get out of here.
But that's the whole thing is it's chaos.
Well, here's the thing. Finally, Chaos Space Marines look like their own army.
Yes.
They've been moving in that direction for quite some time now, and I really feel like they don't look like Ultramarines with top knots.
Right. They don't look like just old spiky Marines anymore. They have like and like we kind of said, there would have to be Primaris Chaos Marines. And honestly, they're doing it with this release. These things are upscaled from the old ones.
Yeah.
And so they're going to look natural next to the Primaris.
Without just hijacking Primaris Marines.
Yeah, and just saying, Fabius Bile came up with a new one too. Wah, wah. So, I mean, it's just, they're hitting it. Yeah. They're hitting it just right.
I found, I have to kind of question where I'm at in my life that I want to do Chaos Space Marines in Slaanesh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where have you gone?
I don't know.
What hole have you gone down?
It's weird. It's so weird because I've always hated Slaanesh.
Yeah.
And once that new stuff got announced, I was like, damn.
Well, you just look at the models and you can't not.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no interest in Slaanesh at all, but
and I've always
models.
Yeah. I've always crapped on Chaos Space Marine players.
Oh yeah.
for as long as I can remember.
Oh,
and now
yeah.
I'm like, ooh.
Why do you think I've carefully hid my... I mean, you can't dig down deep enough to find my Chaos Army under there.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
just shows how good the design team is.
Yeah.
Making that stuff entice you.
Yeah, it is. And they're hitting it. And, it's one of the community survey questions is what brings you into it? What draws you to a certain release? Is it the models? Is it the rules? Is it the lore? Is it the
Yes.
purely the war scroll? And yeah, you kind of have to go.
For me, it's all the above.
Yeah, don't give me a single.
Right.
Let me say yes to all of the above because that's what it is.
Yeah. Because nothing's more frustrating than you see a model, you instantly fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And then the rules drop, and you're like, damn it, I will never use that.
Yeah, I can't.
That sucks.
It has no application.
Yeah. So you get something like KO. The models look gorgeous.
Oh,
and at the time, the rules were fantastic
Yeah.
before they started taking a chainsaw to that. But the narrative is garbage. Like, it's very hollow.
Yeah.
I'm not to attack the people that did write the narrative, but you have to admit it's the substance is a little light.
Yeah.
So
well, and again, I think you brought it up before. I don't think they knew where they were headed.
Yeah.
I don't think they had that charted yet.
Right.
So instead, they told us about what was the easy chunks.
Yeah.
But
we'll get more.
It's interesting. I don't know if you noticed this, but we dropped our show on dwarves, and then that Wednesday, I think, they did a show they scheduled a show on the Dwarden.
Oh, really?
The history and, what's going on with the Dwarden at the flagship. And I'm like, uh-oh, did we do that or did they have that planned?
That's a good question.
I mean, I literally have no idea. I think it was the day that they had all the technical issues and they couldn't get they couldn't do it. So I don't know if that show ever went out actually, but I was giggling to myself going, nah, they didn't.
Well, I don't know. Did they ever do one talking about Archeon?
No.
Okay.
But they released a book. So,
oh boy. Are we the Fox News to their Trump?
Wow. I feel like such a influence. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's just get over that right now.
Right.
So anyway, I'm going to move on because we had the tournament this week. We didn't do a lot of modeling or hobbying. I mean, I started out my bloodletters, but most of our time was spent fixing the last minute stuff. And I know for me, like the whole last week leading up to RandyCon was getting everything ready. And it was my wife's birthday. So I had to take a couple of days there. Hell, just putting magnets on everything so I could transport it was, a day or an evening. But I did want to hawk the asset drop box for March that I got a few weeks back.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is something that we haven't touched on in a while.
I know. And they keep coming out and they remain amazing. So I seriously, guys, if you want to look at new stuff and try new techniques and have a hope of success with these things, look at this asset drop stuff. It's so much fun. In this one, which really kills me because I was going to do my Lady Olinder. I was either going to do it purple or white. Yeah. And I just wasn't ready to do white. There was no way I was going to try to tackle that.
Okay.
So I did it in, that fading purple.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So needless to say, in this March asset drop, they put out there's a set of Andrea colors, the way to do a perfect white with the highlight color, the shadow color,
really?
And the actual base white color. And of course, because of the way it's done, you go through the book that comes with it, and he shows you exactly how to get a really nice white on like a robe or a dress or something like that. So yeah, if I'd have gotten this 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago,
she'd be white.
She'd be a white lady.
Oh, well, just gotta buy another one.
Yep. And then I don't know if it's because we're leading up to April or something, because this box came out in March, but we have a bottle of Instar water, and they call it Water Plus. And there's actually a neat little story behind it. I'll let people that want to look it up. But actually, this is water for thinning paints. Okay. So it's not just straight,
tap water.
Let me hit the tap water and then sell it to you for $3.75.
Nice.
So, and then also in the box were 2 different of the Turbo Dark color changing paints.
Okay.
So this one was Bubblegum Crisis, and Malum Malice. So they're cool colors. And, those color changing paints are getting so cool.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to start using some of them. So, and then rounding out the box was crystal colors from Mig Jimenez and red and orange. And these are the crystal colors with that super high, glossy, and yet semi-transparent. So you can do orbs and gems, and they just come out looking phenomenal. Really? Yeah, it's kind of like the GW set, where you put that super silver and then their gemstone paints to get the really cool effect. These are a lot like that.
Okay.
Different formulation and a different idea, but same kind of thing. Yeah, like there's the Turbo Dark stuff. And I'm handing him the book, so this is great radio.
Right.
So anyway, if you look right there in about the middle of the page, isn't that cool?
Yeah, some of them are some are really good.
Yeah. And if you haven't heard about the Turbo Dark paints, just look them up online. Turbo Dark, just how you spells exactly how you hear it. Turbo Dark, and they have color changing paints that go on. I think easier than the Green Stuff World chameleon paints. So I mean, everybody has their favorite, but I like the Turbo Darks a lot. They're very cool. So anyway, that's Asset Drop. So take a look at it and enjoy.
Cool.
Okay, so before we launch into our coverage of Randy Kahn, I want to talk a little bit about Animosity. Animosity is a worldwide campaign, kind of akin to like the old Coalescence or the GW event. But this one's set up by a small group of guys. One of the guys, Alex, was involved with Coalescence, and he's done lots of narrative events in the past. And this is going to be a 3-day worldwide map campaign. And it's over that holiday, May 31st to June 2nd. So it's over the Memorial Day holiday weekend. So that's the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the beauty of this, the way he has it set up, is there's going to be TOs in different areas who are going to run this thing to kind of, organize a place and all that stuff. But what he's really looking to get is not so much spoon feed scenarios and do all this other stuff. What he wants to do is hand the TOs everything they need to run the games and then get battle reports back. And then he's going to they are going to churn these battle reports that they get through their little algorithm that they've developed in their software that they've made. I have no idea what it is. And then they're going to issue an update each morning with where the campaign is so that you can then inform your players and move along and do other, do that day's events. And again, generate battle reports, hand them in, and then he'll do that same thing on the last day and let you know where the whole thing went. So I think it's a really neat approach to the whole thing.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get Alex to come on the show and talk about it because I think it's just a fantastic idea. And really go check out Animosity Campaigns on Facebook and you'll see all the stuff. There's also a website. Again, I'll put all the stuff in the show notes. But yeah, go look at all the work they've done so far. The part of the pack is already out. The history is developed. It's super in-depth. It's an amazing thing. And I can't wait for this thing to happen. It's going to be a lot of fun. I signed up as the TO for our little area here, and I don't want to say Albuquerque, but at least the group of us that are going to be over there at Active Imagination playing this and going to put up some flyers and let everybody know that it's happening and see how many games we can get going.
Nice.
How many reports we can put in. So it's definitely going to be a cool deal.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So speaking of narrative campaigns, what'd you do this weekend?
I don't really remember. It wasn't that memorable. So.
Okay.
No. So we went up to Durango, Colorado.
Home of Ryan Taylor.
Home of our precious Scotsman.
You know what we didn't do? We didn't say why Ryan wasn't here.
Do people care?
Oh, yeah, that might be it. Okay.
Oh, okay. For the two of you that do care.
Yeah. His mom.
Yeah.
And his wife. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. There is two.
Sure, neither of those people listen. Yeah, Ryan is going out of the country for a little while to the Philippines.
Philippines. He's going to be in Manila. So.
Nice.
Yeah. so he can't take part.
No.
But he did throw an event at his garage where we played Garage Hammer.
Yep, literal garage hammer, like we did last year.
Yep.
And so, except the difference is, last time we went up there just to hang out and play games and
be very informal.
Yeah. Whereas this year, Ryan actually strung together a narrative event, a bunch of games, and so it made it pretty fun. I really enjoyed it. It was called the Asylum.
Yeah.
He had a team trying to defend the asylum, which was packed with like insane monsters and stuff like that. And then the other team was trying to break open the asylum to either free or capture or whatever the monsters, the goodies within. And so Randall and I were the two team captains, which was fun because my team was actually trying to like formulate a plan and be strategic, and Randall was over there trying to figure out how to use a phone and read things like that. So, long story short, our team definitely won the entire event.
I don't think so.
By a landslide.
Did you take anything in the asylum on that last game?
Well, only because Ryan called it after turn 1 because he realized it was such a landslide.
Oh, please.
Turns out when you put up, we'll get into that game.
Yeah.
So we started off, we played a 500-point small game.
Yes.
And then we scaled it up.
Did a skirmish?
Oh, no, we did skirmish after.
Yeah, we
that's
did
right.
a small 250-point skirmish.
Yeah.
Using John Bracken's new rules.
Indeed.
Which were perfecto.
Yeah. Yeah, that went really well. Would have went even better had the person, our Skaven player, Billy, known the rules for skirmish. Didn't realize that every clan rat was an individual unit.
Yeah.
So he had a massive army that just died horribly to a stiff breeze. It was funny. Poor guy. Then after that, we did our 1,000-point game.
Yep.
Which was fun.
That game was a blast.
Yeah, it was. And then the following day, right?
Yeah, Sunday morning.
Following day, we did our 1,500-point
Mega Battle.
So, is there anything you really want to touch on from any of the particular games?
Yeah, I think we should kind of cover our games a little bit since we don't get a chance that much.
To actually talk about us rolling dice.
Yeah.
Seeing how these were literally literally the first games of Age of Sigmar I played of 2nd edition.
You're kidding me.
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Wow, that's scary. Even I've played more than that.
Yep.
So my first game was against, kind of a scrub. But I guess you matched me up there so that it would be sort of even for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted him to have a good game.
Yeah, that was it. So I played Andrew, the 2-time LVO champion, Andrew Standiford.
Yeah.
So he brought his corn doggies, which I really did not want to play because to me that was going to be my toughest matchup of all. And so I ended up playing corn all weekend. But yeah, we had a really good game. We had a lot of fun with that one. It's a 500-point game, so really neither army was really at their peak.
Right.
And at a low point like that, something like the ability to summon, really, he was building up those points, and those really, really helped. So, but yeah, we had a pretty good scrap. I think he won that game. I forgot what the scenario was. What was that scenario?
Wasn't it like 3 objectives on the middle? No,
the next one, the 1,000-point game, was the shifting.
Yeah.
Objective. I forgot what that one was, but anyway, it was a win for Andrew, but not by that much. I actually felt pretty good about the way that one came out.
Yeah.
So, your first game was
against Ryan.
Oh, that's right.
And he was playing Phoenix Temple, and he brought a Phoenix at 500 points.
That makes it easy,
super
doesn't
cool of him. I don't know what his narrative was for that, but I'm sure it worked. So I was originally supposed to play my Troggoths.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that plan did not come to fruition. So who I thought was my good buddy Randall offered to bring an army for me to play, his Duarden.
A dispossessed
army. So I was really excited because I love those models and I'm a dwarf at heart. And so apparently for getting a whole unit going to LVO wasn't enough for Randall. He decided to forget a whole army coming to another event. And he just didn't bring any of it for me to play with. Standard Randall. So, fortunately for me, one of the other guys, the lovely Zach, brought a whole Nurgle army. So I played that.
Nice.
I played Nurgle all weekend, which I've never done before.
Nurgle is so much fun.
Yeah, wow. I mean, wow. Yeah. They're strong.
Yes.
So
you can see why I like playing them.
Yeah. So I played Nurgle, mostly Blight Kings against Ryan's army. He was playing, like I said, the Phoenix Temple. And it was a grind. He alpha striked my Lord of Decay, the guy on the horse.
Oh yeah, the not the horse on the plague fly.
No.
You're talking about the no, he's not Lord of Plagues. He's just the one on foot. I think it is the Lord of Decay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact.
He was my general, and I had him and 2 units of 5 Blight Kings. It was my 500 points.
Blight Kings are expensive.
Yeah, but they're really good. Yeah. So, he ran in with his Phoenix, tried to snipe my character, failed, and then I barely managed to grind him out, kill the Phoenix, and kill his handful of Phoenix guard he had running around. Took that win, which was always nice to let Ryan know where he stands in the pecking order when it comes to the game. So, but yeah, it was a good game. I love playing Ryan. Yeah. It's some of the best fun I can have.
Yep. He's a great guy to play against.
Yeah. So after that, we played skirmish, and we actually played
team skirmish.
Yeah, team skirmish games, which was it was fun. I think we streamlined it a bit, to make everything move.
Well, yeah, since we were playing, one table had 4 people, 2 on each side, and our table had 6 people, 3 on the side.
Right.
So to make combat go faster, we started alternating each one of us.
Yeah.
So instead of alternating unit for unit, each one of us picked. It made it just go quicker. Because who wants to be sitting there for a half hour doing nothing?
Yeah, you got pinched between me and Levi.
Yeah.
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 Corn and Nurgle coming in hard on the night hunts.
Yep.
That was good. So, yeah, it was a fun skirmish game. The defenders actually won.
Yeah.
Their one win all weekend. So, good for them. Our third game was 1,000 points.
Yep.
This was the shifting objectives in the middle or whatever. So, I played the new guy. His name's Matt, that Ryan had met. And he used to play old Warhammer Fantasy Battles. Right. And has decided to finally come along with Age of Sigmar.
Yeah.
And he had Wanderers.
Yes.
Against my Blight Kings. And I double turned him. 1 going into 2. And managed to get my entire army of Nurgle into combat with his entire army of elves with bows.
Oh, that's not going to end well.
Yeah. He barely took a scratch.
Really?
And then retreated with his entire army and shot me, because that's their...
Oh my God, that's their shtick, yeah.
That's their universal
They can retreat
rule.
and fire, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, that sucked, but I still managed to squeeze out a victory on that.
Nice.
One. So, and he was a lot of fun to play. And then...
I played...
Yeah.
In that game, I played Levi and, go figure, Khorne.
Right.
Because, I told my team captain that the last thing I wanted to do was play Khorne again.
Oh, so, dissension among the ranks.
I played Khorne again. Yes. Randy, my captain, captain. Damn, who elected you? I was not there for the vote.
Yeah. Yeah, he drew the short straw and then proceeded to eat the rest before anybody else could draw.
Right.
So...
I think he just nibbled off the end. But anyway, I had a great game with Levi. So at 1,000 points, I was able to bring in the Black Coach.
Yeah.
What a beast that thing is. Oh, my God. When you get that thing powered up, forget it. It's a force of nature.
Nice.
It's not an attack monster, but you can't kill it. It's very hard to kill.
Yeah.
And it puts out a very decent amount of wounds. So, and I have modeled mine with probably what would be the wrong driver. I did the one with the sword and the whip. So he doesn't have the ranged attack, and his main attacks aren't nearly as strong as the grasping hands. So, but I still, I mean, for the aesthetic reason, I'm glad I did it the way I did it. But man, that thing was a beast. I think that game ended up 17-15 in my favor. And it was, you know, it all came down to the shifting objectives, and we had realm gates on the boards.
Right.
And anyone could travel through the realm gates. So Zach brought a couple of Fiends of Slaanesh.
Fiends
of Slaanesh. Yeah, he brought those on, and that almost swung the game for Levi because of model count. And needless to say, in the center of the board, last turn, that's the objective that was worth the most.
Nice.
That's where he brought him in, and it was a tough grind, but I got real lucky and shit. I will say one thing. I say I beat Levi. I diced Levi. So,
okay.
Yeah, I definitely was rolling way better than he was.
Hey, it happens.
It's a win, so
Yep.
I'll take it.
Nice.
So then we wrapped it for the evening, but then what could have possibly happened in a room full of people that play AOS?
Yeah, so Randall and I got to discussing life and the intricacies within, and I had made a proclamation coming up to the event that if Randall ever beats me at Age of Sigmar, I will quit the game.
And go to War Machine.
Yeah, and go to War Machine. Because as garbage as War Machine is still not as bad as Randall is at playing Warhammer. So I was pretty confident.
We've gone from not mentioning him at all to, let's just drag him through the mud.
Yeah. So now he would not accept it. He would not play his Iron Jaws against my Nurgle. I said, fine. I will play literally any army in this room. You can bring your Iron Jaws. And he hesitated answering that one for a little while, but ultimately he said no. And the original bet was that if he won and I lost, I would have to not only give up gaming, I would have to give up my spot on this podcast.
On the show.
Which I agreed to, but Bill stepped in and
cooler heads will prevail.
Yeah, officiated that. So, thanks, Bill. You got me back. Spoiler alert. And I told Randall that if I beat him, I don't remember what we came up with. It was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not nearly that good. But, so I ended up taking his Iron Jaws. The only way he would actually agree to a game was I played his Iron Jaws.
Right.
And he played Seraphon. It was rough. I took Gordrak and a list at 2,000 points and a second cabbage.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the army. And he took a Thunderquake host and a wall of skinks. Good for him. Real tactical there. And
bitter much?
Well, not towards him. He'd have to be important no matter. But it's the fact that, I don't know why I do this to myself with Iron Jaws. I see the models.
Yes.
And I think about, how much fun I used to have playing them a long, long time ago.
Right.
And my heart gets excited. And then I start writing a list and remember how insanely expensive they are because they haven't been adjusted in a while. And even then, the points were very much wrong.
Yeah.
So you realize how truly small your army is going to be on the table. And then you deploy them, and they look so good. They look so cool.
It does.
Yeah.
That mass of 30.
Yeah.
Hard boys.
And then you play them. And by the end of the game, you just kind of want to jump into oncoming traffic.
Yeah, because they depress you so much.
So, they're just garbage. They're hot garbage.
Ugh.
I was frustrated. So, I lost. Turns out Iron Jaws can't chew through free skinks every turn.
No.
So
not at the numbers they're coming in at.
No. So, but congrats to Randy. He beat me fair and square, and he's been struggling to get wins for quite some time now. Even he dabbled in a little bit of meta chasing and it didn't pan out for him. So then he got into the whole, I'll bring what I want because it looks cool. And you still couldn't pull out the W. And so hopefully now he's found his stride. He seemed pretty happy to be playing Seraphon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
I think that's his first love.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's the thing though, is against a low model count army like that, they're going to do well with all those skinks. They're going to do really well.
Yeah.
So,
especially when you're dropping 20 of them. God, 20 of them a turn.
That's tough. It's nuts.
So yeah, he beat me, and the new agreement that we came up with was the loser had to paint an army for the winner.
Right.
So he was originally going to let me pass on this. I'm not known for my hobby skills, and he asked me, "So what were you going to have me paint?" And
this is the best ever.
Yeah. Randall is not a fan of 40K.
Not at all.
And he despises. Is despise a strong enough word?
Yeah.
To describe how Randall feels about Space Marines?
It's close.
Which I had already figured out, That's what I'm going to do to him. I'm that kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then, and I knew what I wanted. I wanted Imperial Fists.
Sure.
And it was so rich that as the game started, and I kind of joked about already knowing what I wanted him to paint, he said, as long as it's not yellow.
Yellow, yeah.
I will paint any other color as long as it's not yellow.
And then everyone else in the room who knew what you would
just started laughing. I was like, oh,
laughing.
Man,
He's like, what?
This is so good.
Oh,
so he doesn't have to paint Imperial Fists. So he wins.
He wins.
Except I asked him, I said, buddy, old pal, what do you want me to paint for you? And he said, well, nothing at the moment, but I'll wait to see what comes out in the next few months.
Oh, God.
To which I began to laugh maniacally. And I said, the best part is a new army's going to drop. You're going to fall in love with the models. You're going to be so excited for it. You're going to shell out a ton of money and have them shipped to you just so you can ship them to me so that I can paint them. And he said, damn it, even when I win, I lose. I don't know how you didn't see that coming. Randall, how didn't you see that? I'm sitting there begging a game for you with stakes on the line to the point where I will even use your army against you. And you thought you were going to pull a W out of that?
This was going to be a win? No.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Randall. I know we talk about him a lot on the show, and there's probably a lot of listeners just scratching their head.
Yeah.
He's been on the show.
He has.
He has been
indeed.
on the show. And if you ever go to a major event where I'm at, he's usually there as well.
Yeah.
LVO being the prime one. So if you ever see me at LVO and walking next to me is what looks like, I don't know, a coked out Ewok or a Mogwai that got a light misting, started shifting into a gremlin and then stopped halfway through. That would be Randall. If you ever wondered what a gimp looks like without the mask, that's the clown shoes that follow my path. Yeah, that's Randy. Anyways, great weekend.
Where's the love?
Great weekend.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. I'm trying to breathe now. So yeah, it was a great weekend. I suppose we should talk a little bit about the mega battle, the big siege of the asylum.
Yeah. So Randall, as much as I dump on him, he actually cranked out a ton of terrain for this event.
Yeah.
And one of which was the old Fortress, Warhammer Fortress.
Warhammer Fortress.
So Ryan definitely wanted to incorporate this and use it as the walls to the asylum.
Mm-hmm.
And we put together 3 tables covered in mats and terrain and used the fortress as the main objective.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, the goodies inside.
Yeah,
and
the
your
buildings
team
inside were the objective.
Yeah. So Team Randingle was the defenders.
Yep.
And then Team Wins a Lot, which is my guys, were the attackers. And I remember, talking about this game before we started with my guys, my winners, the guys who bring the W's home. They I said, why would we attack one wall? Or why would we split our forces on 2 tables?
Right.
Let's just dump everything on one side and just push through. Simple enough. And I thought we were all on the same page until we go out into the garage, start grabbing our models to deploy, and Andrew immediately embraces chaos.
Yes.
And decides he's going to do his own thing and sets up on the opposite side. I was like, wow, good looking out, buddy.
Yeah.
Good looking out. And then Billy, our Skaven player, decided
set up on that table.
Yeah, he'd be cool and set up with him as well. So we ended up splitting our forces anyways.
Yeah.
And you guys kind of didn't. You let Matt, the new guy with his Wanderers,
hit the walls, yeah.
take kind of one wall by himself.
Yeah.
And then you all set up on the other one against Andrew and Billy.
Because by that time we were down a player because Kyle had to
go.
You know, he had stuff to do Sunday.
Right.
So we were down a player. So we figured the Wanderers on the wall for their shooting.
Insane shooting, yeah.
Insane shooting. And we were playing using the siege rolls. So if a single model was in contact, the whole unit fought.
Yeah.
So, and that's
really good.
It makes it go a lot quicker. Otherwise, it would have been just tedious.
Right.
But, so yeah, we had that. And then we had, on the other wall, we had the Phoenix Temple, Ryan's Phoenix Temple.
Right.
And then because of the Night Haunt ability to drop anywhere, you know, their inborn ability to, you know, set up a unit and then put another one in the graveyard, we figured I would be the reserve force that set up after everyone else was set up.
Yeah.
And so
your entire army came on at once.
Yeah. And I plopped in directly behind Billy with his Skaven because I think at the time we were afraid of the Warp Lightning Cannon and the Doom Wheel doing damage to the walls, which was, you know, later on proven to be not such a concern.
Yeah. So yeah, turn 1 opened up, and you got to roll for each portion of the wall. Mm-hmm. And on a 5 up, it comes crumbling down.
Right.
Except that you can kind of counter each other back and forth into 2 teams.
Yeah, we were using the siege table. So
exactly.
From the General's Handbook.
And the way it panned out was that roll was only effective on a 6+.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to roll 6 out of 10 sixes, something like that.
Yeah,
5,
you knocked down
5 or 6, yeah.
2 towers on that side, and then I think you got 5 out of 10, right?
Yeah, I think it was 5 out of 10.
Because it was 2 towers on the far side, and then on our side, two connected wall sections, and then one of the towers.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It was pretty much over at that point.
Yeah, it was pretty much a 3-foot hole in our line.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
I kept saying that we needed to use the siege rolls from Nova because Matt did such a great job on those. We should have used those, but oh well.
Well, there's always next year.
That's right.
Yeah, because on our side, it was basically the majority of a Wanderer's list, and that was it, against a Slanesh army, a Nurgle army, and a Khorne army. Mm-hmm. And we just absolutely blitzed right through it. Like it was nothing.
Yeah.
So I think it was at the end of turn 1, Ryan called it. Because it was getting a little late in the day on Sunday.
Well, yeah, we had to quit at noon anyway because his wife needed to come home.
Right.
So
he kicked everyone out.
Yeah.
And, called it.
Yep.
Chaos. Because there was just no way. You guys had the ability to stop us at that point.
I think we were going to stop you on my side, but not on your side.
No. And that's where we were the heaviest.
Yeah.
So, but it was really good.
Yeah, it was a
lot of fun.
We all basically decided we're going to pick that one up again when we...
Yeah.
And instead of having an escalation like we did this year, we're going to have a de-escalation next year.
Yeah.
We'll kind of ramp it down from the big wall battle, and then we'll let that be the determiner of the skirmish. And then we'll start ramping it down and playing the smaller games so that by Sunday, we're playing a couple of small games that we can knock out early in the morning.
Exactly.
And everybody can get on the road and go home.
Exactly.
Because I know the guys from North Colorado had, they had a 7-8 hour drive ahead of them.
Yeah.
So
that sucks.
And I mean, it's funny that the guys in Greeley, Colorado, which on a straight line are, maybe a little further than we are, but they have an 8-hour drive and we have a 3.5 hour drive.
Yep.
So
stupid mountains.
Yeah. Silly things.
I don't know why we don't just bomb them. Anyways.
We could plow them under.
Yeah.
Let's just make them into asphalt.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Let's really make it a flat earth. So that was
Smash Randy's.
Fest. of Smash Your Andy Butthole Con 2019.
It was one hell of a huge success.
Yeah.
So
massive shout out to Ryan.
Yes.
I know he won't take a lot of the credit that he's due, but he definitely deserves it.
Yep.
For putting on such an event. Just putting on the event in general.
Yeah.
Having a whole bunch of clowns show up at your house
Right.
to play games for the weekend. And obviously
having to move your wife out of your house.
Yeah.
For
Thank you
3 days.
to Ryan's wife
Megan
for letting that happen.
Yep.
But good times.
Yeah. Super good times. Yeah. And, putting up all the terrain and the tables, and he bought those tables Friday morning so that we could all play.
Yeah.
So that was super awesome cool. And he made us what has to be the best trophy I've ever gotten from any event whatsoever.
It will be on the episode art,
Yes,
right?
it will be the icon for the episode.
Yeah.
And we'll probably put it up on Facebook.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
We can't even describe it to you how great it is. So you will see it soon. What we're going to talk about now is not so much the difference between narrative and competitive play, but list building for a narrative event. And are you required to make it fluffy and weak? Or can you build a killer narrative list and play it beat face and still be narrative?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So my list all weekend just revolved around Blight Kings.
Yeah.
More and more Blight Kings, which I don't know how competitive that is now, but when that Maggotkin book first dropped, it was definitely one of the more competitive lists.
Yeah,
in
sure
a plague cyst or whatever.
Yeah.
Where they all have rend and
yeah,
and you park some of the characters right in there with them, so it all synergizes really
You
well. It gets
betcha.
rerolls, and yeah, it's pretty good. But it also looked great on the table.
Yep.
Just a whole bunch of Blight Kings with a handful of characters whipping them around. So, and then Rodigus.
Yeah, you got to have that.
At 1,500 points.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I thought it looked cool. I thought it was narrative, and it was also really strong.
Yeah.
Without it, and nobody seemed to have an issue with it.
No, not really.
So,
I mean, even Randy's list, his 1,500 point list was 2 Maw Crushes. And that, I didn't think that was too over the top. I mean, I know we were giving him crap about it, but
right.
I really don't think that was unbelievable or in some way violated the spirit of the event. And we all said we were there to have fun, but you didn't want to bring, and I think this is really what we're getting at now. When I was making my list, I talked to Ryan and I said, hey, listen, here's the deal. The idea is to get into or out of the asylum, because when this first started, I was supposed to be attacking the asylum. And then afterwards I left because it turned out we had enough Chaos players to make one side.
Yeah, whole team.
So it made more sense to put all of Chaos and then everybody else on the other team.
Right.
But, my whole thing was I'll build and paint the Black Coach to be what we use to transport things in and out of the asylum. Right? You're going to have some sort of coach or something to get people in and out.
Right.
So we were like, yeah, that'll work. And so then I figured that was such a powerful unit. And I don't want to make this thing just an overpowering Night Haunt list, because at the smaller power levels, the abilities of Night Haunt can become really really, really strong. It's like Khorne with summoning. When you have 500 points on the board, when you bring another unit of dogs, that tilts the whole game. I mean, that's a really strong thing to have.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to be that guy. So I made a Highlander list. I could only use one of each War Scroll, so I brought a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And most people would look at the list and go, that's junk. You're not going to win anything with that. But in reality, at the point levels that we were playing, it won and won well. I didn't have any problems with it. I went through the rats and I went through the Khorne. No problem, Well, I diced Khorne.
Yeah.
But I think there's that perception out there that if you're going to play narratively, you have to make a weak list. You have to make a themey list. Well, themey lists don't have to suck.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly. I mean, you don't necessarily have to incorporate some loophole that you found on the internet for models and how rules interact and stuff. But yeah, I think it's totally possible to do competitive, strong lists.
Mm-hmm. Well, and when you look at it, there's some armies out there, like Iron Jaws. Your narrative list is going to look a lot like your competitive list because you don't have that many things to pick from.
Right.
You know, same thing with Overlords.
Yeah.
Do you really have that much to pick from?
Bone Splitters.
Yeah.
Beast Claw Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I get it.
My narrative is the exact same as my competitive.
Yep.
And they both do exactly the same thing,
Lose?
which is nothing.
Yeah.
I guess kind of the idea is if you're looking to go to a narrative event, you don't have to get it into your head that you have to in some way power it down. You can take battalions. Just have a decent reason for doing it. And that reason could be just that they work better as a battalion. And I've always thought battalions work really, really well, almost better in narrative games because that's how they would travel. That's how they would run around. You're not going to see 50 sequitors running around just for no good reason. Well, I mean, it's not how they're used.
Right.
And when you read the fiction, that's not how it's done. It's done, you know, they employ these troops the way they should be employed. And yeah, you can do that narrative, but it also works real well in competitive. So don't feel like you have to trade away the power of your army to make it narrative. You don't. You can have a fun kick list.
Definitely.
Okay, so that's kind of pretty much all we really wanted to hit on the narrative side was, you know, don't feel bad for taking a good list to a narrative event. So, and I think we're both in agreement on that.
Definitely.
Yeah. So this can be kind of a short show because we're recording on Tuesday and we have to have this out by Thursday. So yeah. Hopefully I'm going to stick some interviews that I did while I was on site, but I don't know how well they're going to come out because, you know, it was in a garage and it was kind of loud. So
yeah, it was windy too.
Yeah.
And
so,
but we'll see.
So, but yeah, this was our tournament coverage. Mostly. So next up, we're going to talk about something different. If you have any ideas, like I said, if you have any ideas for something you want to hear us cuss and discuss on the show, please send them in. Let us know. Yeah. Send it by carrier pigeon, whatever. The Twitters.
Smoke signals.
The Googles.
Yeah.
Whatever. So. But yeah, we're going to sign off. Anything else you want to end with?
No.
Oh.
We're good.
I think we're good. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, what follows is interviews that I did while I was up in Colorado on the portable recording gear. It's in the garage with all the gamers going on, so there's a lot of background noise. It's not great, but some of the interviews are pretty funny, so I'm going to add them here at the end. They're not great audio quality. I do apologize for that, but enjoy. All right, so ongoing coverage of the Smash Randy's Butthole Convention narrative event thing. And I'm sitting here with Levi Bennett. Levi, how did you do in the last game?
Last game was a little rough.
I kicked your ass.
Yeah, pretty much. If you had to put it one way, yes, that's basically what it was. Yes.
No, not really. Not even close. But
Knight of Shrouds, skirmish round. So Knight of Shrouds went through a Skull Crusher.
But you beat him eventually. So.
Yeah, it took 3 blood boils to do so. With the Slaughter Priest hurting himself. So.
Well, yeah. I had no defense against that. I had nothing. Nothing for that. So
that's kind of why I was targeting him, but stayed resilient as all get out.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. So how did you think about the whole overall narrative skirmish battle?
Skirmish was fun. 3 people team of 3 on one table, team of 2 on each, playing against each other. I thought the flow of the game was really good.
Yeah.
Individualizing models is a lot of fun.
Yep.
I wish you could have been able to get bounce from table to table, so realm gates being set up.
Yeah, I think we had all the realm gates there, but we never really used them because we were kind of in our own little fights.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Would have been handy if somebody could have come from the other table or vice versa if we could have gone over there. But.
Yeah, it sounded like the other table game was going a lot quicker, a lot faster pace, and a lot more bloodshed than ours was.
There was a lot more drinking on our table, I think.
Yes, I think it was. Yeah,
so
we were
that
still
might have
having
been
a good time.
Yeah. So what do you think of the event so far?
It's great. Anytime I can meet up with you guys at events or Andrew and just a great group of guys to play with. It's great so far.
I think so. I think we're having fun so far. Even though Randy's here, it's a pretty good event.
He does kind
overall.
of dampen the mood a little bit,
Yeah.
but adds a great amount of hilarity to the situation. So anytime I can bag on one dude in particular, especially him, it makes for a pretty decent event.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. All right, who's up next? Who wants to be interviewed next? Anybody?
Next, Smash Randy.
Yeah!
That's true. You smash. So next up, we have the two-time LVO champion and the guy who handed me my in the first game, Andrew Standiford. What's up, dude?
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
Well, we're here, and it's better than being anywhere else. So.
Yes and no. I mean, I could be in Disney World.
That's true. We could actually be having fun somewhere.
If Randy wasn't here, we'd all be having a much better time and still smashing his butthole.
And true, yeah, because really he didn't get here till midnight last night, and up till then we had a grand time.
Yeah, so, Elric slept in his car and everything.
Yeah, that's right. I almost feel bad for him, but I don't, because it was his poor plan. So what do you think of the event so far?
Supposed to be like
That's a lot of fun. I mean, we had a great game in the first round for the 500 points.
We had, I think, the best game of the day so far.
Yeah, by far.
Because that was close. That was tight.
Yeah, it was definitely close. I mean, you were smashing in. You killed both my Mighty Lord of Corn and my Quarterath on turn 2.
Yeah.
And the only thing that was really keeping me in was the fact that we were both killing each other, and I kept summoning in more
the blood
animals.
type points were counting big. In a 500-point game, that was huge.
Oh, yeah.
That was awesome.
That was a lot of
But,
fun.
I mean, that's the thing you have to deal with. I have the resiliency, you have the ability to come back. So that was the fun part.
Blood for the blood god.
You know it.
Feels a little awkward. I mean, stepping out of my comfort zone playing these filthy chaos.
That's a pretty big change for you because you've gone from almost always playing Stormcast
with a little bit of Iron Jaws in
Corn.
there.
Yeah, a little Iron Jaws, but to go all the way over to Corn, that's a pretty deep dive.
Yeah, they don't call me Stormcrush for any particular reason.
No, nothing whatsoever. Well, what do you think of Corn so far?
I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't get to use the blood tie system in the last one because it was skirmish, but I mean, I had a lot of fun. In round 2, or the skirmish one, got to essentially go with the narrative of the event and smash Randy's butthole.
Well, that's outstanding, and I take it you did well at that.
Oh, yes, he is still butthurt over not killing my avatar.
Oh, that was...
Literally butthurt.
Yes.
Well...
Yeah. See, you see what I did there.
So he rolled, what, like 5 or 6 sixes to
He did
attack
3 wounds, and he just needed to do 2 wounds left to me, and one of them I rolled a 6, but then he needed to hit me on 5, or no, he needed to hit me on 6s with his Rip-Tooth Fist. Rolled 2 6s to hit, rolled 2 6s to wound, and it was -2 rends, so I needed 6s to save, and I rolled boxcars.
Nice.
So, yeah, that kind of spoiled his parade, and I enjoyed every moment of it.
I freaking love it.
But the game was great, and it ended up being a tie because Kyle decided to carry Randy to the tie. Quite literally, because Randy could not pick up an artifact to save his life.
Yep. Yeah, I think the only reason that our team won that event was over on the other table. We carried, 2 extra objectives?
Yeah, we got...
you guys tied on your table, right?
Yeah, we tied on ours, and then you guys definitely beat the ever-living crap out on yours.
Yeah.
You yourself, didn't you have 2 artifacts?
Yeah,
with
I
one
had
guy?
2 artifacts on one guy, yeah. Mm-hmm. Or 2 objectives on one guy.
Yeah, just juggling them around.
Yeah. I juggle.
Yeah, looking forward to the next game, doing 1,000 points next. See who we all play. Have a blast doing it. And drink plenty afterwards.
There you go. That's the whole idea of the con, so cool. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate
Thank you
it.
for having me on.
You got it. So, I'm here with Randy, who is fresh off a major victory at Smash SRBC Con 2019.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. And you played a grudge match against Elric, didn't you?
I sure did.
And there was some pretty high stakes involved.
Yes, well, Elric being Elric, thinking so little of me, he proclaimed that if I were to beat him in a game of Age of Sigmar, that he would quit the hobby and never play again. After walking him back from the cliff.
From the edge,
right,
as it were.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you. I walked him back, and we decided on painting an army. Whoever loses is going to paint the winner an army.
Do you really want that?
No. In fact, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So
be team captain.
We played. I came. I saw. I kicked Elric's lily. White. Wave after wave of skinks, just demoralizing him. Oh, and killing a mob crush at turn 2, but that's fine. That's fine. Things happen. So Elric ended up conceding, thereby,
As often happens,
proclaiming me the winner. Mm-hmm. I was actually going to let him off the hook on painting an army because let's be honest, folks. No, none of us want Elric's paint.
hashtag skeleton gate.
I was going to let him off the hook, but then our pals here playing at Smash,
The con.
informed me that he was going to have me paint yellow Imperial Fists, which I know you guys have heard that I have a particular distaste for Stormcast. That also applies to Space Marines.
Aww.
So this SOB was going to have me paint a bunch of Space Marines yellow. So then I was not going to let him off the hook after finding out what he was about to do to me. So you owe me an army. Yes, I'm looking at Elric right in the eyes right now.
I got a rebuttal, right?
Yes, you do. So that's pretty good. So now we're setting up for the big, massive team battle, the siege. Ryan has set up one hell of a table here.
This looks great.
So yeah, I think it's going to be pretty cool. So let's get a few more comments from the loser, and then we'll get to gaming. Elric, you want to say something about your
I
lines?
do. How salty was Randall right there? Because I was in the kitchen.
Not very.
Watch out for the
You know, he's a proven winner.
Okay.
I'll give you an hour. He doesn't prove it.
Thank you.
So, coming into this weekend, I wanted to put a friendly wager on a game with Randall. Because I really do enjoy the guy. He's a lot of fun. And so, we kind of put some heavy wagers on it at first. That I was going to have to quit the game and play War Machine, or going to have to quit the podcast, which I'm sure some people would enjoy. But
Not Alex Gonzalez.
well, So instead, we agreed that we would paint armies for each other. I'm sure Randall went into that. And we did the game, and he's been so discouraged about Iron Jaws and really down, and he likes to blame himself about it, but we all know that the army struggles a bit. So I figured I would try to brighten his day and show him that maybe the army can get a win. But unfortunately, that's not what happened, and Randall outplayed me. He did really well, and he's a really nice guy, and it was a really enjoyable game, and I kind of hope he wasn't really saying bad things about me, was he? Because it seemed like he enjoyed playing against me.
See? Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Because I really enjoyed playing against him.
Can you say that into my good ear? Did you just
No, I'm just saying, it was a really good game, Randall. I really enjoyed playing.
I don't even know what to say.
And honestly, that's the thing I look forward to the most about driving all the way up to Colorado, is to not only see you and spend time with you, but to enjoy rolling dice against you. It's always a win. It's always a win for everybody involved, buddy. And I'm just glad I got to do that.
Folks, this is all a facade.
This is not a facade, buddy.
This is the
not a
fakest
facade.
crap you've ever heard.
This is the truth.
Yeah, I absolutely enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the chance of us playing. Yeah, exactly. So it was wonderful.
If you would like to get in touch with us, you can reach us on our Facebook page, www.facebook.com/rollingbadpodcast, all one word. Our Patreon page is at www.patreon.com/rollingbadpodcast, again, all one word. The Twitter account for the show is at rolling_bad, and our individual Twitter accounts are, for me, at Bill Castello, Castello, and for Ryan, he is at RT Gamer. All of our guests on the show will have their contact information in the show notes, and any products that we mention will also be similarly placed in the show notes. The music for the show is used courtesy of Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com and used under the Creative Commons license.